Okay, I'm recording this video after the close of trade Monday, 26th of April 2010, and I hope your trading is going well. Just wanted to do three things in this video. Just run through my Emini charts quickly. Also want to catch up on the commitment of traders data from Friday's release by the CFTC, and just go through some FX charts as well, Forex charts. And I think the risk trade is still on, and here's what I'm seeing in my charts. This is the 4500 tip bar chart. This is today's activity after the open with this red vertical dotted line, Friday's trade and Thursday's trade. And just recapping, last Thursday I was talking about this breakout of a downtrend line kind of around here, where we had this kind of extreme buying activity going on that was kind of buying this breakout of this downtrend line that was kind of going on more like something like that. And normally these kind of moves will end with an end of trend warning signal. And on Friday, what I was looking for was we'd broken into an uptrend above this cyclical resistance level. And we're looking for a pullback in an uptrend, which we got. There's the PB for a pullback, and this is an end of trend warning signal here. Now, slightly different in that this isn't actually marked as an end of trend warning signal because we broke this pullback support level, so it's not a clean signal, and I don't mark those on my charts. But it still shows that this is kind of a logical place for this kind of move over the last 2 days to 2.5 days to kind of end. However, the question is, does that mean this uptrend is over, and are we going to move into a down trend phase? Now, certainly we have moved through cyclical support here at 1212, and when I look at my higher time frames, what I normally look at to see is this slight overshoot of this cyclical support level going to be caught by a cyclical turning place in a higher time frame. And if I go to my higher time frames, here's the 4500 tip bar chart, broke through cyclical support 1212. The next highest time frame, we've also broken through cyclical support here, and then on the highest time frame, the 40,500 tip bar chart, we're a ways from making a kind of a cyclical support kind of turning there. So half of me is saying, this is kind of breaking into a potential downtrend move. But half of me is saying, well, we've actually had exhaustion selling at this point, and if you look at these bars kind of coming into the close, on these down bars as we're coming into 1208 here, this is professional activity potentially buying these lows. We certainly we're seeing professionals kind of buying into the lows at 1210 before we had this kind of step down at, beg your pardon, at 1212. We had a step down at the end of the day. And for me, if this were breaking into a real downtrend, we would have got far more downward movement in this step down, but we only moved down effectively 3 or 4 points, and then the professionals kind of stepped in. We had these exhaustion selling bars come in. So I'm starting to think that we need to be looking to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we started to see a rally forming on Tuesday. Now, the other things that are kind of making me think that might be the case, we're oversold on the Better COT indicator at the moment, and all the other kind of swing trading oscillators. They're ready to turn around, if you like. We've also got the risk trade is kind of around the Forex charts is kind of the euro. We've got a second cyclical turn after an end of trend warning signal here, which is typically the start of a new kind of uptrend move. We had exhaustion selling back here a couple of weeks ago. We kind of retested these lows, and there's less and less selling activity going on. When we look at the dollar index, we've got kind of the inverse of that. This is just underneath this kind of the top of this chart here is an end of trend warning signal there. Second cyclical turn after end of trend warning signal, potentially a downtrend forming there on the dollar index. And then if you look at the Aussie, kind of a favorite currency obviously of mine, we've been in a strong uptrend in this currency, and even throughout all of this weakness that we've had in the euro here, the Aussie dollar has just remained on these kind of highs. We had an end of trend warning signal back in November, December, back here that marked the high at about 95, and then we've just been playing around this range, and this looks like we're kind of setting up for maybe a breakout to the upside above 93, 94. So we've got a cyclical turn happening here. On these down bars here, this is kind of professional activity stepping in here. So all of these things to me are starting to say, look, we could be seeing, I mean, I hate this rally. I've said that on numerous occasions, but you know, I have to look at my charts in an unbiased fashion and say, well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see an uptrend starting to form here. So there's not a logical support that comes in on my cyclical turning points, particularly because we've fallen through here. But you know, those are professional buying bars happening at those lows. You know, are we going to come back down and form a quick cyclical low here on this highest time frame, and that'll be the major kind of support level that we use to go forward? I don't know, but I'm just going to be wary about moving to the upside. So that's kind of directionally where I sit at the moment. I'm going to be looking for support early tomorrow and potentially a little bit of a rally going forward. The play of the day was this cyclical turning point here, which is, you know, one of my favorite moves is when I have an end of trend warning signal that coincides with a cyclical turning point in the highest time frame. So I'll just show you the 500 tip bar chart here. This is at about 10:15 in the morning. We had an end of trend warning signal here, which coincided. Go back to the 4500. Coincided with this point here, cyclical turning point on that 4500 tip bar chart. So end of trend warning signal here, and you can see pushing into these highs at that point. We had these little Rambo patterns. These were amateurs trying to buy these breakouts at these points. There's a Rambo pattern there. There's actually one underneath that end of trend warning signal there, and a third one up here. And then the professionals step in, a couple of professional bars up here. We get exhaustion buying at that point, and that kind of marks the top of that little rally into the high for the day, and then, you know, kind of the market slinks away for the rest of the day. So when those patterns, the end of trend warning signal patterns on the lowest time frame, coincide with cyclical turning points, and I've got all of those other things in place where we're starting to see, you know, the professional amateur activity starting to tell me a picture about the amateurs getting wrong-footed and the professionals getting ready to reverse their positions, as well as bearish divergence on the momentum indicator, and then some kind of exhaustion buying, you know, at that point here. That for me is a really nice kind of a whole kind of combination of signals kind of coming together. So that was the play of the day, if you like. Then I've not done the commitment of traders latest data on the weekend, so let me just show you what we're happening here. Now, remember this very last bar here includes Monday's trade, so this is Friday's activity. These are the charts that I normally kind of post, so this is the bar to be looking at, and we're positive 2.5%. So the professionals are now net long 2.5% of total open interest, and that's looking at the S&P contract, because I'm using that for directional kind of information as opposed to the Emini, which I don't think is directionally useful. And when it comes to the oscillator, here we've moved down to the reading for last week was 50 on the oscillator, so we're kind of above the zero line. Now typically, you know, we might see, you know, we're nowhere near the buy zone. The buy zone is kind of, you know, below -50 in this kind of area here. What I'm wondering is, are we going to have a little bit of a bounce like we had here with the oscillator, where we kind of just came down, showed some weakness, and then the market kind of kept on rallying. So potentially seeing on my charts, I'm trying not to get enamored with getting short or seeing an end to this rally, move to the upside after this kind of exhaustion, selling on the downside today. So that's what I'm going to be seeing, just looking for some kind of support early tomorrow to see a potential area for a bounce. Remember, you know, Tuesday we've got the Goldman Sachs kind of inquiry on the Hill. Hope your trading's going well, and I'll post some more real-time trades during this week.